If you're a nerd who likes Transformers and uses the internet, you've no doubt seen this character. Her design took the internet by storm, for completely normal reasons of course. This is Tachy from Metal Cardbot W, the third series of Metal Cardbot toys. This line features new feral robots, who are called wild Cardbots, and each one is designed around a certain animal. For example, Tachy is based on a cheetah, which should be very apparent thanks to the tail, and paws, and cheetah faceplate, but even though this character has become so popular due to her design, is it actually a good toy? What's good internet? Jake here, dumb as ever, and it feels insane to finally have a prolific character like Tachy in my collection. The funny thing about Tachy and her fame is that so few people know that she has one of the darkest backstories in Metal Cardbot canon. I'm not spoiling anything here, but if you know, you know. So today we're going to take a look at her figure to see if she's really worth all the online hype. But before we do that, we need to talk about today's sponsor, JPFans. JPFans is a proxy service, which is probably the weirdest kind of website you can buy from. A proxy service acts as a middleman between you and Japanese online stores, like Mercari, Amazon, and Surugaya. There are two main steps for ordering on JPFans. The first is ordering your items. I love to shop on Mercari because you can find great deals on secondhand items. When you order an item, it'll be sent to the JPFans warehouse, where they can store it for you for up to 60 days. That way you can make multiple orders and bundle items together, which is better for shipping. Keep in mind that because JPFans is a middleman, refunds are not guaranteed. The JPFans purchasing agent will attempt to negotiate with the original seller to get you a refund, but it is up to that original seller on whether they will accept a return or not. The second step is paying for international shipping. International shipping has to be calculated after ordering the items, because they have to price out the shipping after packaging and weighing the items. And I also have to mention that international shipping can be super expensive on account of the items coming from a whole different country. But I do have some tips. First of all, there's a calculator which can help you estimate the shipping cost based on the weight of the items you order. Keep in mind this is an estimate, and you won't know the price for sure until your items are packed and weighed, but it does help you know the range you can expect. Another tip is that the most reliably cheap international shipping service is ECMS. If an option for ECMS does not appear for you, message customer support and ask what you can do to get ECMS as an option. If you are not in the United States, I recommend avoiding UPS. They are an American company, so the price to ship is much higher if you're not in the US. Again, if ECMS is not available, message support to see if they can help you. If you do want to use JPFans, please consider using my link below. If you do so, you'll get some coupons. And if you redeem code dumbjake, you'll get a 20% shipping discount coupon. It's been 40 years and we finally have Tachy in hand. Golly, woulda talked about character and toy, and man, she does live up to the hype in a lot of ways. I really love this like burnt yellow color. It's not quite like Bumblebee yellow, it's kind of like Bumblebee movie yellow. A little bit. That's what it reminds me of anyway, though I don't think it really is the same shade of yellow. But she's a really cool sports car, supercar, I don't know what to call it, but you know, a fast car. Look at her engine. It's raised up and then these parts look like extra boosters or something. It's really, really cool. The eyes in her vehicle mode are also styled, more cat-like to fit her theming, and she's kind of got the same mask she has in robot mode in vehicle mode over her eyes, which is really interesting design. I love the black stripe going through, really reminds me of movie Bumblebee. And parts of this car do remind me of like the Camaro, like the back part does really remind me of like the 2007 concept Camaro. But the front part more reminds me of like, I don't even know. I know the car, like what it looks like in real life, but I don't know the name of the car. But not a Camaro, it reminds me of some other car. But yeah, the design is super solid, and of course she rolls well. Like every Metal Cardbot, she has pinned wheels. I like that these parts, the headlights and the backlights, are translucent plastic. That adds a lot to the look for me. I feel like because of all the attention her robot mode gets, people just don't talk about her vehicle mode that much, but I feel like her vehicle mode is just as good as a robot mode in a lot of ways. She's about the size of Season 1 Blue Cop, and she is like the smallest of the figures in the line. Maybe Phantom Hornet is a bit smaller, but yeah, she's damn near one of the smallest characters in the line, and compared to modern day Transformers, she is still huge. But let's go ahead and take Tachy and transform her. So I will say there's a bit of parts forming with her, which isn't that common in Metal Cardbot. I know I've covered a few recently that have a lot of parts forming, but it's not really the case for most of the figures. And if it is, it's like a main part of their transformation rather than just a few pieces. But for Tachy here, she does have some parts forming, which includes the sides of the car here. So you just pull those off, and these become her paw knuckle weapons. So they are technically weapon storage, but still parts forming. People will not like that, so just keep that in mind. And here is peeled Tachy without the parts forming pieces. So to transform her, it's really easy, but really clever. So these back parts, we're gonna open these up, and we're gonna flip the sides of the car out and flip these in just to hide them. And now we are gonna take the legs here, and if you look, you can see that the feet actually form the sides of the car, the bottom of her feet, which is really, really clever. And you can also see that her arms form like those turbine engines on the hood of the car, which, again, really clever. Really like this transformation for a Fembot. Like, Transformers is notorious for giving its Fembots kind of terrible, crappy transformations that have like a ton of shell forming. And I'm proud to say that this figure definitely doesn't do that. It definitely does some really cool things. Like her tail, she does have a cheetah tail, of course. Her tail actually wraps around in the middle of the back of the car and sort of fills that spot in, just filling out the car back, and it just looks really cool, and it is a really cool concept executed well. So there's her cheetah tail. Take a closer look at that in a second. The spoiler can be pushed up like that. And now we are gonna move her arms out of the way. And she does have a big old backpack, I'm not gonna lie. And then swing it around. This is probably the most annoying part. This hood section is gonna like slightly collapse. And then the eyes are gonna go like that, kind of hiding the eyes. Not really, but kind of. And then this section will fold back and perfectly fit on there. Really pleasing architecture there. I flip her tail around like this, but you can do it like this, but the articulation is pretty limited, so I like to have it like this just so it's more pronounced, I guess. We're gonna straighten out her arms. There we go. We have Tachy. Here she is, very, very clearly a female Metal Cardbot. So the thing about Metal Cardbot and gender, a lot of people like to say that Tachy is the first female Metal Cardbot, and we can say she's the first definitive female Metal Cardbot just based on how she is literally designed. But there have been other characters in past seasons like Shilio who are sort of female coded, but at least watching it with subtitles, it seems like they don't gender them, so they won't outright call them she or her, they just say they or them. And I think that comes from a place of like, boys won't buy girl toys. Maybe, I don't know, because this this figure exists and she is definitely a girl, so I don't really know the logic behind all that, but like Shilio and I want to say Sky Gallop are definitely female coded. Phantom Hornet is also female coded from this same season. So while yes, Tachy is the first like definitively female Cardbot, there are several that are already out that I would say are also female. They just don't literally look like her. But she is very cool. She's very sporty, as you can tell. They definitely took the theme of a cheetah and applied it to like a fitness runner. Like she even has sneakers here, which look really, really cool. And she is easily one of the most articulated Metal Cardbots I've ever handled. I wouldn't say Metal Cardbot is really known for its articulation even in the later waves where they get more, but Tachy actually has some crazy articulation for the line. So taking a look at her head, it can spin 360, it can look down. Can't really look back that much, unfortunately. This is about as far as it goes back, but it can go forward. Oh, I just noticed she kind of has, like, hair behind her helmet. That's kind of what that looks like to me. I don't know if her arms can spin around, go out, single bend, but they can also rotate here. And then her hand can rotate 360. She does have an ab crunch, kind of. I don't know what you would call this. It's kind of an ab crunch, but you can tilt her back. This is mostly for transformation, but you can do it if you want to. And then she has a waist joint right here. Her leg can go out that much, forward that much, back that much. She does have a thigh swivel, nice ratchety joints here. She has a double bend knee, so she can really kick her leg far back. She has an ankle swivel, her foot goes backwards and forwards, and she has an ankle tilt. Really, really nice ankle tilt too. So you can get her in some pretty cool poses, especially for a metal Cardbot. Like, I can't get any of my metal Cardbots to do a pose like this. For these pieces that parts formed on her, you can actually attach them to her backpack. You just have to close these doors up, and then they will attach to her backpack like so. And yeah, it gives her a bigger backpack for sure, but you can store them there if you want, or you cannot store them there. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I can definitely see someone not liking it. Oh yeah, and for the tail articulation, it's on a ball joint, and then it's on this hinge. So really not as articulated as I would really want. I prefer to keep it like sort of in this pose with the tail pointed up, but you know, it's up to you, I guess, but not that much articulation on it, sadly. Okay, and you can take these pieces on her backpack or the front of her car, and you can actually turn them into weapons for her. So here's something really cool. You have these little paws here, right? When you rotate them, the nails slowly extend out, and I think that's just really cool. And you can go ahead and stick them on her arms, raise the paw, and the nails come out, and then just attach it to her arm, and boom, she's got some paw weapons. I think it's a really cool idea to have almost like these brass knuckles, but it's a whole extra cheetah paw sort of thing, or like Wolverine claws, I guess. Obviously, this part does just look like a piece of car, but I like a little kibble on my Transformers, so I don't really think that's an issue. Like, her arms are pretty skinny, so this kind of gives her a more even look in terms of design. But, of course, we have her metal card to look at. Here it is, with her picture on it. Honestly, one of the smallest Metal Cardbot W metal cards, so it may seem pretty thick, but if you haven't seen the others, you haven't seen nothing, man. But these are really cool. So they split apart, you unfold them like this, and they become these like leg braces that she can use to run faster. Unfold everything here. So they just open up like this, and you just put her her leg piece here, the thinnest part of her leg, you slide it in, close it up, and then you sort of tilt her foot down so it can connect to the larger cheetah foot, like so. Same thing over here, tilt the foot, and now you have the fully metal carded, powered up Tachy. Obviously, she really put some height on. She's much taller. Silhouette has completely changed. Like, the bottoms of her legs now match her thighs much more, plus her arms are thicker. So yeah, she definitely changed a lot when she added this armor. And she also has a really cool thing on the head sculpt, which, by the way, looks incredible. Very cool character design in general, with that cheetah mask over her eyes, and just her eyes look cool. They look just like the vehicle mode eyes, but you can actually put her mask down. So she has a bit of a battle mask, and she's even got little cheetah spots. And if you look closely, the line from the mask continues onto her face. Like, they very cleverly lined that up. But yeah, that's really cool. And that is sort of her powered up battle mode, and wow. So she's really cool. She does for sure lose some articulation here in this mode. For example, her leg is much thicker now, so it can't bend as much. And it actually also hits this piece of kibble, this side piece. So you have to sort of move it out of the way to fully bend her leg, which isn't that big of a deal, but still. The foot articulation is also a bit weird because they want you to connect her robot mode foot to the metal card foot, but it kind of restrains the articulation of the metal card foot. Like, if you look, this foot has a whole bunch of ankle tilt, which you can't really access when you have the foot plugged in. So you can sort of just cheat it and pretend her foot's plugged in. You know, you don't actually have to do it if you don't want to. I think it is cool, like, it looks cool, but it does hinder the articulation a lot, so it doesn't feel super necessary. So you can get some awesome poses out of her for sure, but
Just not as much of a variety as with her normal robot mode. But damn, the design is so sick. Like, how could you not want to display it like this? She's so cool looking, man. Overall, I'm a huge fan of Tachy, and in my opinion, I'm a fan for all the right reasons. She's got a really cool backstory, one of the most dark in the series. Her design is badass, and transforming her back and forth from vehicle to robot mode is really fun and engaging. So yeah, Tachy is one of my favorite figures of the year so far. The hype is justified for her, in my opinion. I think she is easily one of the better metal Cardbots to get as a first metal Cardbot, just to see what's up with the line.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to JPFans for sponsoring this video. Once again, if you sign up with my link, you'll get a bunch of coupons, and redeem code dumbjake for a 20% shipping discount coupon. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you'd like to support me further, I have a YouTube membership and Patreon. For $1 a month, both give you the same thing. Access to my super chill Discord community, where we talk about toys way too much. Also, I recently started a new podcast with my bud JCC2224, where we talk about all kinds of toys, including Metal Cardbot. It's called Retooled, and it's available on all platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. You can find a link to the first episode down below, so please consider checking it out. Alright y'all, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.